here to pick up my headliner. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. This is where I'm getting it. See all the boats and stuff he's got. He does changes carpets on those pontoon boats. He also does some really nice upholstery for novelty cars or sports cars, you might say. They have a lot of flames and stuff like that. So let's go get it. So the headliner is partly put back. It wasn't too bad, just lift it up. I'm gonna reinforce the other thing. So what I'm gonna do now is I was surprised when I saw this. This is the above the driver. It's just cardboard, and in some places it's a little thin around that light and everything, and really it's alright, but I can't leave well enough alone, so I'm gonna paint it with fiberglass, which I bought a gallon of it a few years ago, and I've still got some left. And I want to show you that the lid, you know, won't stick on it anymore. The lid quit working, the screw top, because it got all gummy, and now it just kind of seals itself. Now I put a little peg in it, but really it seals itself, so in order to get into it I have to drill it like this. I'm going to have to put the camera down, but I'll drill a hole in it, then I'll pour my you know, put a little hardener in. You put a food drips of hardener in, then I'm going to paint it. We'll see how that works, and you know, if it stiffens it or not. A little bit wild and crazy in here. I probably wouldn't have done so much, except that fiberglass is starting to go, so I used a lot of it. It's cold out and it's not quite done, so I've got a heat lamp on it in the truck because it stinks. It stinks too much to have it in the garage. So I did the put the fiberglass on the cardboard, and it worked. Worked good, except so it stiffened it considerably, really. The only bad thing is the fiberglass, the resin is so old, it's not drying very well, and I even put more. I even put extra hardener on it, and it's still a little greasy. But you know, modern materials are so good. Cement, concrete mixtures, and glues, and just all kinds of engineered materials like that are so good, and fiberglass is fabulous. It dries hard as a rock, or hardens hard as a rock. It smells a little bit, but if it gets old, you know, it's not right. It's not the good. So you don't want your stuff to get old, but it happens. I'm going to go ahead and use it anyway, and I'd like to say too about modern materials, even if you do it wrong, they work. You know, that's the kind of materials I like. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this crack in. I'm going to use the mesh. And so this is what that looks like when you put that mesh in there and cover the mesh, paint over the mesh with the fiberglass. And I just love this fiberglass. It's just hard as a rock, you know, colloquially, generally speaking, casually speaking. And when you put this mesh in there, it gives it strength, tension strength. So it's kind of like concrete with rebar in it. And I need to knock off some of these bumps maybe, but really it won't matter too much probably. It'll just go up into that. I have to put it up into this space up here. bumps probably aren't going to hit anything. Yeah, see there's distance. So I just stick that in there and then have to put the lights back. So it's done. It's just hardly took a second. I wonder if I left that recording. So see that blurb right there in the middle? That's because it's all those blurbs, they activated too fast. Plus it's old. But and then you always use a disposable brush. And it's so easy. It's totally easy. Just don't buy a gallon like I did. I had to cheat this a little bit when I went to put this in. It wouldn't, these little tiny things here wouldn't hang on. Probably because he lapped the thing over and then I fiberglassed it. So I put a couple screws in there, which is you might call it cheating, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. No, I think you should never be afraid to cheat a project like this. Do it a little different from the official way. There's certain things you can't cheat or it won't work, like plumbing, engine, electronics, but stuff like this headliner, you can get away with it. It's a little bit tricky getting these holes lined up and everything lined up, and you might think you've got it in the right place, but it doesn't work. And these you find the hole, you mostly just jam them in there. I was thinking about getting new ones, but they'd have to be the right color and everything. And I asked the upholstery guy, and he said he just reuses them, so that's what I did. So I finished up this headliner. I'm walking and talking, that's what they do. That's how you do an exciting video. So there's the headliner. And I find that the details, getting the last details done, I think is the hardest part of the whole job. Getting this back on and this, and getting these lights in. So I was unhappy with how these lights don't have a way to poke, so I put these strings on here so I can just jerk them off like that, which probably a lot of people think I'm out of my mind, but I thought I'd have a better way of doing it. That was the best I could come up with. Those strings hanging down like that. There's one there. Then the one in front, I had to screw it in because it wouldn't catch anymore. So that one, to get to that one, you just unscrew those screws. So that's about it for the headliner. No big problem really. It's not as good looking as the original, but it's a lot better than the way it was. So these things do just snap right in. I don't know if I'll be able to point the camera. They just snap in and out, but let's see. Let me do it like this. There it is. So I just snap, and I have to move these strings now to put them where they. Kind of crazy, I know, but there it is. So I'm done with this one.